Hi everybody, welcome back to Hex Token channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. Man, oh man, oh man, so much happens in crypto. It is crazy. Let's get into some of the craziness and some of the awesomeness that's happening in the Hex community. Let's go. Hex.com. All right, so here we are on day 734, the 5th of December 2021. And of course, 15.4 cents is the price that we hit. And the price change is down 7.4%. Now, turns out there is an account that has stakes coming out every 7 days, and they've got about 7 million in each stake. So they've been selling that down million hex lots. So that goes well to explain some of that. All right, ROI, return on investment multiplier from the all-time low. And what day was that? I say it every day. It's the 5th of January 2020. And that's now 2,729. So it's probably the lowest that we've seen for a long time there. It's definitely in the last 10 days. Let's jump over to the payout, Hex payout. Now, this is the main event, 5.855. We are consistently getting a higher payout now. Woo-hoo-hoo! And that is juicy. Now, remember that Hex is designed for staking. So it's designed to move towards store of value. And so, you've got a lot of Hex OGs at the beginning, and you get the Hex OGs picking up, before big payday, and then after big payday. First couple of years, people are relatively OGs in some sense as the project starts to build up pace. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. All right, so the T-share price at 3,027, and you've got T-share rate at 9,650. Up 11.3. Nice, another little day heading towards 20,000. That's certainly going to be a pretty cool milestone. All right, so average stake length 5.85 years, up slightly from yesterday, and this annual percentage yield rate, interest and early end state penalties, 37.47%. Oh man, I just love it. It's so good. All right, the liquidity pool, 158.5 million Hex in the pool, and you can see that compared to yesterday, that is actually down compared to 159 there. So obviously some change in LP provision there. There is 156 the day before. And we were down at 148 10 days ago, so it just gives you a difference. That's obviously with the price movement. All right, let's move to the US dollar liquidity, 26.2 million in the USD pool, and 942 ETH in the Ethereum. Lock value 9.56 billion. Market cap, let me just move this along, slightly different numbers when looking at these market cap values, 88.52 billion. So that includes the Origin wallet. So obviously with the price going down as low as it has, then that's where we're at the moment. It's well below the 100 billion that we've been enjoying so often. All right, so T-share market cap 32.9 billion, and T-shares 10,869,512. That's down 13,266. So there's a lot of stakes coming out. Remember, we had the big days on the 1st and the 2nd of December. We had the big candles coming out. We obviously got still other candles coming out every day, but we're going to check out that shortly. We've only got 2 big candles left, and then we're going to talk about some of the good upsides for 2022. All right, let's go to total supply, 636.7 billion, 59.5 million minted. That's a big day, as we would expect from yesterday. And circulating supply, 574.7 billion, includes the Origin wallet, of course, and change in circulating supply, 113 million. So that's a lot. There's a lot there. And let's have a look here. But remember, we had that decrease of 100 million just the other day. Stake supply 62 billion, and change in stake supply down 53.6 as expected. That was going to be a big day. And let's jump over to the stake percentage coins, 9.74%. Payout 63.6 million, and Hex penalties 504,000. So that's okay. That's a decent day. And we were enjoying such high ones. Look at these back here. I mean, it's just crazy. If you stake it, you're going to make it. So as the price moves up through cycles, and I think this is probably related to my point I was trying to make earlier about the Hex OG, is that as the price goes up, you're going to have price cycles, and you're going to have a redistribution of Hex. So that's probably the main point I was trying to make there. All right, so nice, 389,028 total holders. Now, the total change holders 333, and the current stake is 71,822. and of course that's up 71. It's a better day, isn't it, compared to, yeah, so it's the second first equal best day last 10 days here, so it's a good move. Total stakers 89,686, 77, and current holders 271,282, up 96. So these, we've still got all positive growth rates. Obviously we want to get into the thousands and tens of thousands to get that virality, and that's what I think is in store for us in 2022. All right, let's move forward from that, and let us get on to some of the actual prices at the moment. Obviously, the market price is 15.3 cents at the moment. The T-share is back up over 3,000 compared to a snapshot that we had, and it's a 5,000x. Let's have a quick look. So the yellow is determined by two things. So the T-share price is determined by the hex price and the T-share rate. So obviously we've got the T-share, the hex price down at 15.4 cents at the moment, moving around there. And let's scroll back down to the second input into the share price, and that is the T-share rate here. You can see on the left here, that's heading only up and to the right, so it's only going up. So you can see how that's going to keep pushing that T-share price upwards. So it's better to get one today than is in the future. Obviously, you can chime the hex price, and obviously now is a good time, relatively speaking, to recent periods. All right, so cool. The T-share rates have, the T-share payout has been spectacular, and it looks like it is up higher now. It moved from about 5.75 to about just over 5.8. So we're getting more rewards. Nice. All right, so very cool. And of course, adoption is a big deal here. And adoption is up and to the right, and it just needs, we need a steeper gradients, and I think we're going to get that with the PulseChain and with the Pulse Swap. All that good stuff's going to help spur that. Also, we're going to get it with a lot of the YouTubers that are just growing and growing. The highest of stakes, a lot of other marketing that's going out from some of the big investors that are proactive in the community. All right, so we've got expiring stakes here. This is the 15-year view. This is very important. So if you think you got demand, you got supply. So this is all the stuff that's staked, and this means it's off the market. And of course, people that are getting rewarded in their hex per T-share payout. What that includes these sometimes pretty juicy penalties. And those penalties are going to get better and better as time goes on, because people just can't help themselves. They might have made big US gains, and they want to cash those in, and but I think we're going to get less of those in some respects as well, but we'll see how that plays out, because time also has an impact, right? So that's going to be interesting. All right, so we've got these candles at the front. It's going to be interesting to see how these once these are gone, how we go into the future, because we're going to have all that hex sitting in circulating supply, and that's got to go somewhere. All right, so we're going to come back to that actually, because that's a pretty important thing. So we're going to come back to circulating supply. So we've got this 574.7 billion hex. Remember, majority of it's in the Origin wallet, but the increased amount is going to have to go somewhere. And of course, that's where I love a Pulse Swap. We're going to talk about that later. I'm getting ahead of myself because I was pretty excited about that factor. So we're going to talk about that. So let's go. We looked at the 15-year view of stakes with that blue chart at the bottom here. That's the 15-year, but we're going to zoom in to the current present time of the next 4 months, as we always do. And of course, you can see the next big candle is coming up on the 17th, and then the final one is on the 1st. Now, what's happening? We haven't seen candles pop up, in front of here or in here, and we know that a lot of the stuff that came out up to the 1st to 2nd, where we had those other two big candles, and then in November we had big candles, etc., was about 40-45% was the Origin wallet, and so we haven't seen that play out. So we're gonna watch these two candles, and hey, the timing could be perfect. I'm going to talk about that soon, about the PulseChain and Pulse Swap. That's going to be fun. All right, let's jump over from here, and let's go over here. So this is Richard Hart's tweets, and of course, a Bitmart got hacked, 150 million. That's a big deal. We already saw with the big market correction, Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that the other day, how a massive amount of people got their margin trading wiped out. That's just like, so much wealth just wiped off the map. And now Now we've obviously got this big Bitmart hacked, 115 million US dollars. Now there was some Hex on the decentralized exchange. Remember, Hex is primarily on decentralized exchanges, so it doesn't face this issue, and that's just one of the cool features of Hex, and that's why people have got to learn over time. They'll learn over time that the Hex product, because it's decentralized, it's the staking king, as it were. They're going to realize that that's much better than all these traders trading on these centralized exchanges. So I do feel for the people that get hacked, but this is the superiority aspect of Hex. So hackers got 863,000 US dollars worth of Hexes, Richard, by hacking this exchange. They already sold it on the market, so that's obviously also put some downward pressure on the price as well. So we've got on big staker that's got 7 million Hex coming out, and I think we've still got 2 more of those coming up in December, and then he's out. So let's see what he does with that. But based on his current trend, one would expect him to sell. So we'll see what he does there. He's been doing it in 1 million lots. So he gets 7 million out, does it in 1 million lots, and he's still got 2 more stakes coming up out of that. But once those people are gone, the Hex OGs that are not committed, then it's onwards and upwards, and the Hex gets distributed out to a whole new set of people. Think of it like a tree growing branches. It got more branches now, and that's typically in better hands. They already sold on market. Thank goodness Hexkins prefer using decentralized exchanges. Absolutely, that's so true. All right, so another big piece of news, of course, was Stan here has posted that he was educating the Prime Minister of Australia and Federal Treasurer on Hex. Now that is really cool exposure to get head of nation states in front of with the particular crypto, given how many cryptos are, to get Hex, which we know is superior store of value. That's amazing. So very exciting, and it'll be interesting to see whether that gets some interest from the Federal Treasury Minister around that. So that'd be pretty cool. All right, so very cool. And what else we got here? Script over that. So that was about it from Richard's Twitter. So let's go to the other big pieces of news. So you can see there's a lot of big news just happened over the last 24 hours. Let's go to STAKER app. STAKER app had its 3rd week of rewards. Now I've done 2 videos on this already. You can check out the STAKER app as well. I've got the link to join STAKER app in the video description. And of course, you can join the contest if you open up a smart wallet in there as well. Now, obviously, it's got Steph here, basically the founder, owner, CEO of STAKER app, and you've got the top 10 winners for week 3. Now they've actually increased, so you can see that it's getting more popular even within 3 weeks. So you got all these. You have to stake for 5,505 days, so 15.2 year stake. So you get the maximum benefit of staking after 3,641 days. But the longer that you stake past that, you get to hold that share rate, which is golden, right? It's always already heading up towards 20,000. It could be 50,000 in no time. That's what's going to happen. So staked Hex of 2.2 million was the winner this week. $2,000 they would have got, and they staked $366,000. So they were probably going to do that anyway, but they got $2,000 in USDC payment for their troubles. So pretty good. And of course, the bottom one here was 49,200. And it's going to vary from week to week. So this is a pretty big week. If you look at last week's, they were much smaller. So you could have done just, I think, even a few thousand Hex staked, and you got $300. So watch that over the weeks. I think the weeks will be different. Won't always be, infinitely going higher and higher and higher to get in the top 10. I think that you'll be lucky with definitely smaller stakes. On different weeks, this is going to be part of the luck there. So that's pretty great news. And of course, the huge news, this is really big. Congrats on 100,000 STAKER app downloads. So this is STAKER app has hit over 100,000 STAKER app downloads, and that is really cool. Now, the other thing, of course, is don't forget to check out the episode 2 that was, episode 3. This is the one here that I'm on. Episode 3 that was on today. Check it out. It's very cool. It's got Holodog and Gerardo as well, the 2 top YouTubers on Hex. So definitely check them out. All right, so let's jump over to PulseChain now. It's time. All right, so here we are on PulseChain, obviously, pulsechain.com. And if you haven't read the site up, definitely read it up, especially all these benefits and features here. Let's jump over to PulseChain, and we've actually got an update 2 hours ago in the compressed allocations folder. This is where the distribution is held, so that's a good sign. Now, Richard did allude to something there about it being updated for this week. So if you did have some issues with your distribution, that's probably the case. So I'll just definitely be patient with that and wait for the any official announcement from Richard again, as he so let's wait for that. All right, so let's go into PulseChain. So PulseChain testnet 1.0 is still running. That's just ticking over. We're waiting for PulseChain 2.0, and that's what brings us to, I guess, the very exciting PulseChain Timeline. Woo! It's got quite a few updates, so let's get into it. And of course, let's just do a quick recap for people. PulseChain Sacrifice was way back here. Look at this, man, oh man. I don't even know what happened to that line. That line seems to have moved somehow. And well, just to update that, that was a bit amateurish there. Let's pull that back. Right, so we had a PulseChain Sacrifice. Now we've got the PulseChain Mercy phase. Now, pretty much everyone's telling people not to sacrifice anymore. I mean, it's like 550 times the value at the time. So, just my strong suggestion is just don't do it. So, and I think we've seen people pretty much slow down. So nice. All right. Yeah, so that's what we've had at the moment. We're up to the fact that we had the Hex second birthday, and we got a really good keynote speaker there. Keynote speaking. How am I going to say that? A keynote introduction from Richard. That's a better way of doing it. And of course gave us a nice update, and that is the latest information we have. All right, so previously we'd had his last video, which he gave a really good update about timeline. And of course, I've had that in here, and we've been talking about that in orange. So that's for the PulseChain mainnet. But now I've updated it for the second birthday. And of course, this is some of the things. So distribution balances expected this week. So that's the week we're in now. We're just Monday here. And of course, the MVP, which will be gradually released. So go.hex is going to be working on the PulseChain. Uniswap front end done. That's actually done. So working on the testnet, Pulse Swap, of course, working on testnet, and a bridge, of course. So this is very exciting. This is very actually bullish. So there was always some talk about the bridge and this and that, but obviously there's community solutions as well as Richard's own dev teams. So very exciting news. And of course, this is all done. So it's looking very, very exciting. So I think that's pretty fun, and here we are with the time zone. This has been narrowed, so here we are right now. This is current day, the 6th, and of course we've got the week here. So we're expecting it this week. It says likely or probably. That was one of those two words. Was what Richard said, and so this is when we're expecting it. And of course that changed, that update that we had today, 2 hours ago. It looks very bullish for that. The other side of it was that the distribution balances would be out this week as well. So the testnet would be up, and the pulse and the distribution balances would be refreshed and put back in. That's the way I looked at it. So very exciting to see that. So we'll look out for some more information, maybe even tomorrow. Could be pretty quick. All right, so the other thing, so with these big 4 things coming up, these will be gradual release as we head towards PulseChain mainnet. The other thing he gave us was the timeline, and I realize that's not very straight there, so we're going to make that straight. And of course, that leads us, we have narrowed it. You remember I had a whole month band here? That was based on the video information. Now we have better information, and of course, we have a smaller band. So previously, so this was a month wide. Now we have 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And of course, that means that we're going from the 30th of December through to the 13th of January. The middle point, of course, is the 6th of January. So that's where we've got the PulseChain mainnet at the moment. So that's based on the information we have, and that assumes that these all get moved in place, but fairly confident at the time. Richard was, so that looked good. That also means that PulseSwap also launching at the same time. PulseSwap launching at probably the same time, which makes sense since they're going to be running all the pairs through them. So that's going to be happening, and of course the sacrifice 2 weeks, a week or two before. So that is basically, or a few weeks before was the terminology. So that I've done 2 weeks here as a guide, and so we've got the pulse swap sacrifice. People asking about that. That's probably the time zone. So we've got the beginning of that is the 24th of December. I'll just take off the the banner here so you can see that. I realize the video is running a bit longer than I normally do, but we just want to get through this stuff here. So yeah, the 24th of December here through to the 6th of January. So things are coming closer. So people that are selling the Hex, you know, got to be careful there. Got to be careful. That's for sure. Talking about, so that's where the PulseChain sacrifice is coming, and of course our window is closed. So I think it's looking pretty exciting as well. So let's have a look at the price here. So the price definitely broke our double bottom of 14.4 cents here, and yeah, was it back? Yeah, back here, and we've got the price that we actually had a dip down here. All the way down to 13.8 cents. And then today we're currently at 15.1 cents. So we've just got the day here. So it's going to be interesting to see the price here. So, you know, I mean, it's still kind of technical. Oh, someone just sold some down there. So we've just dropped down to 14.3. So someone's just done a big sell there. So we're going to see where that this happening in real time. So we're going to see where that goes by tomorrow. All right, so yeah, that was a big move while we were there. All right, so that's pretty much that on the price. So we're going to watch that and see how that goes. But whoever they're doing, they got a little bit of time because the pressure's mounting on with pent up demand to really start pushing this price up. So yeah, this could be a really bad move by people selling. So that's the way they want to do it. People are going to stakers make it, and that's just the way it's going to be. All right, hope you like that because that's looking a pretty good picture to me, and all the good news coming out is good as well. And the price will do its own thing. People want to sell, they'll sell. The chart's got a downward trend, they'll sell, and that's what happened. And so, and like I say, we had one staker yesterday that's got a couple of stakes still come out about 7 million each, so 14 million up left, and I think they had 3 million left in their wallet after selling about 4 million from the last stake. So we'll see what happens with that as well. All right, I've been 20 minutes. It's the longest video ever in the world. So I'll hope you guys enjoyed it though, because it had lots of cool updates, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hope you subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course, and I'll put the content timestamps as usual, just so you can jump to the sections that you like. All right, catch you in the next one. Bye for now.